It's at your seat.
You.
Cold in here.
Yeah. Like 10 or 15 degrees cooler in your
Did you use
office.
your gift card yet, Scott?
Wow, I started to. We've spent the first $80 or $90.
It's the only place I could hear someone say, I want to. Am I wrong? No.
You are not wrong.
I haven't made it to one of those in a handful
Oh,
of
it
years.
was
but
so fun. It was so fun.
I always make sure I kick
It
in
was
for the
fun.
raffles just in case.
It was fun. I had a good time. I might do the one in December.
Oh, thank you.
December 5th, Mrs.
Fifth, yes,
Jason.
yeah.
Selling tickets?
Yeah, I was,
That's
there were
sweet.
5 of us.
We got a while to go before we get there.
Oh, I should try that.
It was a lot.
I had too much popcorn before I came in.
Mike, share. Will you share?
Sure.
Here. You got a lot going on. That's
That means.
craziness, right? All right, here's my little.
Right now.
Our cake. It was like eating pure sugar. So good. So
Four
good.
different color paint on my.
We bought our door.
walls from like paint walls.
She needed a new front door.
Do what you gotta do.
It looks
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
pretty
good,
good.
so.
Oh, that's even
It
better.
hasn't happened pretty good.
Nice.
It's even more than the door.
All right.
You're ready.
Hey,
I'll do it.
Ready there,
I'll
boy?
make
Were
it
you,
better.
were you?
We haven't
Oh,
done
you're
it
not
yet.
gonna vote that? You're gonna lose.
Okay.
Artists.
Thank you for your patience. We went into executive session at approximately 5:34, and we are now back. I will turn it over to Mr. Feldman for our budget hearing and meet the candidate night.
All right.
Thank you.
Do you want me to? 1 second. We were in
Hold,
executive
please.
session for
Yeah.
matters.
No, go ahead.
We were in executive session for matters related to the employment history of particular individuals. Now you can go.
Excellent. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to our 2025-26 budget hearing and meet the candidates night. We'll provide a quick snapshot on the budget that the board approved last month, April 22nd, for the public to consider in 2 weeks from tonight, on Tuesday, May 20th. So Dr. Nest, if you'd hit the next slide. The proposed budget for the 25-26 school year that the Board of Education approved on April 22nd is $105,576,012. It maintains programming at all current levels across all the districts. So all of our programs, instructional programs remain the same. It is under the state imposed property tax cap of 0.4%. The proposed levy increase is right at that, at 0.4%, which means that our budget vote that happens on Tuesday, May 20th, the budget only needs to pass by a simple majority because it is in compliance with the state imposed tax cap. It does maintain our annual bus purchase. We have 6 buses in the 25-26 budget, including 4 electric, with uses of state and federal funding to help mitigate some of those costs. So again, the proposed budget is $105,576,012 as compared to our current budget of $100,410,422. It is an increase of $5.165 million, or a percentage increase of 5.14%. We are required at this budget hearing to present the budget in 3 parts. Those three parts are administrative, program, and capital. The administrative portion of the budget really is the overall management and support of the district. It includes salaries related to the superintendent's office, curriculum and staff development, the Board of Education, printing and publishing, and supervision and support in all of our 6 schools. It includes legal services, liability and property insurance, and salaries and benefits for our administrative staff. The program portion of our budget, which is the largest, is the instructional component, which accounts for all of the instruction and educational support across the district's 3,800 students, salaries for teachers, guidance counselors, psychologists, social workers, coaches, therapists, teacher aides, computer technicians, and clerical support staff are included, along with all of their fringe benefits. Summer school and summer school transportation are also included in this. And the last portion is the capital portion of the budget, includes all of our buildings and grounds, all of our maintenance equipment, vehicles, and any repairs done to the district. So as a snapshot of the total budget of $105 million, our administrative component is for the 25-26 school year is $8,095,727, which translates to about a 7.7% makeup of our overall budget. Our program budget increases from the 24-25 school year to $80,293,511, which for us is about a 76% makeup of our total budget. And then the capital portion of our budget is $17,186,774, which is a makeup of about 16% of our annual budget from that standpoint. This just gives you kind of another snapshot at the budget from year to year. The darker bar graphs are the proposed budget for the 25-26 school year. You'll see that our administrative component did increase by 0.1%. Our programmatic budget actually decreased by 0.6%, and our capital budget increased by 0.5% from year to year. So on the revenue side of the budget of a $105 million budget, this is basically the makeup of how we receive our money. Real property taxes, which is the tax levy, accounts for 51.6% of our budget. State aid is 36.4%. The use of our reserves and fund balance is 2.6%. Our debt service reserve is 0.3%. Sales tax, 5.2%, and other items, including payments in lieu of taxes, tuitions, and interest is 3.9%. On the right there, we do highlight some of our revenue impacts for the 25-26 school year. We did see a $3.75 million increase in foundation and expense-driven aids. In the executive run of the New York State budget, as of today, the New York State budget still is not passed. They had a deadline of April 1st to do so. It is May 6th. So they're almost 36, 37 days beyond their deadline. So we did see an increase of $3.75 million in aid. For what it's worth, that's where we're at in terms of the executive run. We have,
Sorry.
That's okay. We have a $350,000 increase in sales tax projections from the current year. We are maintaining our use of about $345,000 in reserves to help offset the overall lack of state aid. And we are using $300,000 in our debt service reserve. That will exhaust the debt service reserve. If you remember from the last 2 controllers' reports that, we've been dinged on that. That was created probably about 10 plus years ago to kind of mitigate an offset in aid, building aid back on 3 building projects ago. So we've established the debt service reserve to help offset some of those costs to our community. That exhausts our debt service reserve, which is what we needed to do.
Just had a quick question. So it's been a month plus that we don't have a new budget. Is any of that revenue in jeopardy? You think she's going to come back with something crazy, or from everything you've Don't laugh. From everything you've seen, are we pretty good?
That's a good question. Everything that I've read, the aid looks to stay the same. So I don't anticipate anything from that too drastic of a change. There may be some things surrounding, cell phones and
Right.
school buses, electric school buses and things along those lines. But from an aid standpoint, I wouldn't expect to see too much of a change. We did in earlier presentations make note of our total aidable foundation pupil unit number that really drives state aid, and that ours remain the same from year to year. So we would expect our aid to remain fairly close. I know that the superintendent had conversations with Assemblyperson McMahon, and she indicated the same, and that we may even see a slight uptick in our aid. Just as a person that creates a $105 million budget with our staff and with you, you know how frustrating it is to create a budget without all of the information, is what I'll say.
Thank you.
Sure. The proposed tax levy, the tax levy increase is again 0.4%, which translates to an increase in the overall levy from year to year of $218,590. Our proposed tax levy attached to the 25-26 budget is $54,486,662. It again is right at that tax cap limit for Sweet Home for the 25-26 school year at 0.4%. So again, it only needs a simple majority to pass when the public votes on it on Tuesday, May 20th. This is a snapshot of kind of where we anticipate tax rates to be in relation to our budget. This is based upon a home that is assessed at $250,000 in the district, which is pretty close to an average home. I will caution you that this is using assessed value data at the current school year. We don't receive assessment levels from each of the townships until well into the summertime, but we do use this to kind of give our best guess, our best estimate at where we think taxes will be. We utilize the same equalization rates from the current year. Our Amherst equalization rate has moved from 62 to 100% this past year, so they are at full valuation. The Tonawanda equalization rate dropped from 24 to 23%, and this is again based upon us going to the full allowable tax cap limit of $54,486,662. So on a home, average home assessed at $250,000 in the town of Amherst, we would expect that a tax bill would be around $2,425, which is a year-to-year increase of $7. And then on the Tonawanda side of the district, we would expect that on an average home, again, assessed at $250,000, that bill would translate to, tax bill would translate to $2,437, which is an increase from year to year of $9. So when folks come to the polls, to vote on the budget on Tuesday, May 20th, here in district office in Virgil Center, they will be voting on two things. They will be voting on the first proposition, which is the approval of the $105,576,012.25-26 budget. Again, that's an increase of 5.1%, tax levy increase of 0.4% over the current year. And they will also be voting on the election of two school board members. The terms of Mr. Leibel and Mr. Rabinold do expire on June 30th, and the top two vote getters receive a 5-year term that'll expire on June 30th, 2030. We do have 4 candidates that you'll meet here shortly that are running for the board. And then the voting details again, 2 weeks from today, the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. right here in Virgil Center. You must be 18 years of age to vote and a resident of the district for at least 30 days prior to voting. So with that, I'll ask if the board has any questions. We could also entertain questions from the audience if there are any. I don't know if the board has got any questions relative to the budget.
Mr. Feldman, will there be chicken dinner that night?
Yeah, will there be chicken dinner?
There is a chicken dinner that night. Shameless plug. Dollars for Scholars will be hosting a chicken barbecue from 3 to, I beg your pardon, from 4 to 7 o'clock out in the Virgil's lobby.
And
So
can you
we-
pre-order?
Say again?
Can you pre-order?
You can. We're going to send flyers home probably next week.
Thank you.
I'll add on top of it, I know Chef will be selling sweets in the foyer too.
They will be.
Will be.
They will be. You'll also have an opportunity. We'll do a district-wide art show here in Virgil's in the hallways and out in the foyer. And then you will also, folks of all ages will have the opportunity to vote on these Panthers behind me for the next official logo of Sweet Home. But I know we're going to address that here shortly. So any other questions, Ms. Jason?
Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to, we also have a elementary track meet that day.
We do.
There's a music concert that day there, and folks, our entire community will be getting a postcard with a list of all the events that are happening on May 20th. So,
Thank you.
It's going to be a great day for Sweet Home.
yes.
It is.
It's going to be 75 and sunny too. I'm just.
Manifest it.
Which means it'll be 45 and snowy. So, but anyway, yes.
It's more kind of thinking ahead. If we could, I'm thinking like with the Boulevard Mall, with our Costco, things might be affected next year. Could we have the town supervisor come and give us an update at the end of the year? Because I think that'd be valuable for not only us, but for community members. I
Yes.
want to know
it is
what's
time.
happening with Costco.
For cost.
Okay.
My
Yeah,
Costco.
Going up pretty quick.
It is. And then
Well,
there's a
pretty quick.
Dick's there too, right? That's going to be there.
Yes.
There's a big
Yes, I
sign.
think so.
Dick's World Store.
Thank you.
That's the building. It's called-
Any other questions from the board on the budget?
it's the fast-
Mr. Rabinold?
Sure, I'll ask one, Don, if you don't mind. Mr.
Sure.
Feldman. In the case of the state coming in with less money, we have enough in reserves to cover the shortfall, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
that's
You
correct.
Have any estimate if in fact it does come in short?
So I can't estimate on where it'll come in, but we do have a reserve usage built into the budget at $345,000. We have reserves in other reserves, balances of about $9 million in overall reserves.
We're in good shape.
We are in okay shape, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You know, maybe the public doesn't know, we've been doing, as a board, we've been looking at this since January, but I know your office starts probably after this gets passed. So would you just thank everybody that you're working with?
Well,
Thank you.
yeah, I agreed. It's a collective effort. We did start with you all in February, but we've met with building principals and supervisors and administrators is just after the Christmas holiday. So it's a process for sure, but the goal has always been, and it's been a goal of the board, to provide a budget that is both fiscally responsible and maintains programming. So
And this looks great, just getting this in the mail and so kudos
This is
to you.
Ms. Slagle
Yes,
is back there.
kudos to
She's
you.
back there, so it's good. If there are no other questions from the board, I guess I would ask if anybody in the audience has any questions at this point in time? Okay, so next slide, please. That moves us to our annual Meet the Candidates Night. So I would ask that the board, minus Mr. Leibel and Mr. Rabinold, please kind of come and have a seat in the audience. And then we will invite Mr. Plath and Mr. Makeley to take seats up front with Mr. Rabinold and Mr. Leibel for our Meet the Candidates Night.
Sure.
Say battery?
You can, sure.
Stay in place or?
Sure.
Okay.
Step ahead. I was going to ask you about.
With you.
So before we begin, we did, again, these are the four gentlemen that are running for seats on our Board of Education. The two top vote getters will receive a 5-year term that will begin in July at the reorganization meeting. And then the term will expire on June 30th, 2030. So the top two vote getters will receive the two seats that are up. So the format for us is that generally we'll give each of the candidates an opportunity to read a statement. We did ask if folks that couldn't be in attendance, if they wanted to ask questions, they could submit questions online via email. We do have one of those questions. And then if there's anybody from the audience that would like to ask questions, we'll certainly do that. So we'll start. I'll go, Mr. Leibel, if you would like to read your statement, we'll start with you and kind of work our way down the line.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I know it's a nice night out, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Brian Leibel. I'm 48 years old, lifelong resident of Western New York. My wife, Jen, and I are raising 4 kids in the district. Grace is 11, Jack is 10, Jane is 8, and Anna's 4. Grace is in middle school, Jack's at Willow Ridge, Jane's at Willow Ridge, and Anna will be starting kindergarten next year. As a young family, we have a personal stake in the success of our schools, and that's why I'm committed to working hard for our students, our teachers, and our staff. We've got a lot riding on this personally, as I know many of you do. I'm asking to be reelected with no hidden agenda or political ideology to push. My only goal is to serve the public and to do what's in the best interest of our kids and their parents, our teachers, our staff, and the broader community. I was educated in public schools, and I believe deeply that with hard work and perseverance, you can achieve your dreams and anything is possible. Given my diverse background that I grew up with, I have a strong appreciation for students and family, including those with special needs and from diverse economic, racial, and religious backgrounds. Over the past 5 years as a school board member, we have faced challenges together, but I think we've made some good progress. And this includes we've been able to offer both in-person and remote learning during the pandemic. We continued student athletics during COVID. We've kept taxes below the cap rate and below inflation. And as you can see in tonight's presentation, it's 0.4 on the property taxes. So again, much lower than the rate of inflation to help our families who we know have a lot of financial pressures. We launched universal pre-K for all students. We opened a brand new high school auditorium. We approved a new contract for all our teachers and staff. So I think we've made a lot of good progress. Of course, there's more to do. And I know the solutions aren't always perfect, but one thing I believe in, and I've said before, is that we can't let the pursuit of perfect get in the way of progress. On a professional level, I bring 30 years of business experience. I hold a degree from Canisius University, my MBA from the University of Notre Dame. I'm the founding partner of an investment company locally that's been in business now for over 12 years. My career actually began with a public school internship at the age of 16. And now I own a firm and we manage over $700 million of local funds. I'm also proud to say that my firm supports its employees, which includes, just as an example, we pay 100% of the health care for our employees. I mention this because I'm a big believer in that it's more than just one person, it's the entire team, and you need to take care of the entire team around you. And I think I know what it takes to build a successful organization and to support the team around you. I'm also connected to Sweet Home staff. My father just recently retired 17 years as a school bus aide. My sister Sharon is a lunch aide in the district. I'm also proud to have the endorsement of the Sweet Home Education Foundation, which represents our dedicated teachers. And as a parent, and I speak, and in speaking to other parents, I hear the same thing, and I've mentioned this in board meetings before. And this, my belief is this: when you get down to it at heart, if you ask a parent, what do you really want more than anything for your kids? The heart of it is they want their kids to have good teachers. Yes, we want all the other peripheral things, and they're important. More than anything, our kids spend a lot of time with our teachers. And when I say teachers, I also mean the coaches and the counselors. And so I think that's more than anything what a big focus of mine has always been is making sure that we have the resources that our teachers and our staff can excel, that our students can achieve success. And I also want to just mention that I come from a family of service. My dad's a Marine and a veteran. My wife served in the Iraq War in the Army. And I've, not that I'm comparing my school board service, anything to military service, but 5 years of service on the school board and on many community local boards. So again, I'm running not for personal gain or one specific agenda item to promote, but I'm here to serve, to fight for our families, our students, our teachers. We're all in this together. Every student, one community ready for the future. And I'm asking for your support and your vote. And just so you know, I'm first on the ballot. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you, Mr. Lible. Mr. Rabinold, your statement, please.
Just so you know, the age difference, my print here is twice as big as this young fella here. So Dirk Rabinold, I'm seeking another term here at Sweet Home. It's with deep gratitude that I thank you, the community, for allowing me to represent your interests this past year. I'm asking again for your consideration and hopefully your vote. I'm number 2 on the ballot. Being a school board member is not for the faint of heart. It's not glamorous, and it's certainly not for the pay. Most of us get involved because we care deeply about our children and their education and how they're prepared for the future. My prior years of experience on the board gives me an advantage, I believe, as a board member. I've seen and heard many things over the years. I've learned to listen and be transparent before making a decision. Working cooperatively with families, students, and teachers, and building consensus around common goals is most important to me. I strongly believe in open discussions and transparency about problems and operations that affect the community and staff. I've always been open to a phone call or a meeting. Communication is the key. I look forward to having an open line of communication and dialogue with the community to further best the interests of our students. I believe we all want students to succeed. We all do better when we work as a team. In the past year, we've faced some challenges, but I've stood up for our kids, especially on the proposal to have our students walk. I told my story about when I was a child and I had to walk 2 miles to Kenmore East. It's not easy across Brighton and the Brighton Golf Course with the wind blowing and 0 degrees. So we're fortunate to have a ride occasionally. So that's where I stood on that, and I was happy to do that. Along with the outcry from the community, I stood with them, and in the end, our students will not have to walk. We'll provide transportation. This year, we held the line on your school taxes. Again, it's about a 0.4% increase on the tax levy. I'm very proud of that. I know that the district worked hard to keep the taxpayer in mind when they set their budgets. A challenge ahead will be the impact of artificial intelligence on education. It will present challenges, and we must be prepared to, we must be prepared to see how that will impact the education of our school and how it will impact our students. I've lived in this community 40 years. My wife, Robin, and I are proud parents of 3 children who were educated at Sweet Home. I won't bore you with how they're doing, but they're all doing very well. We now have 6 beautiful grandchildren, which is the focus of our life, and the focus of their future is our concern. I'm a certified financial planner professional who owns and operates a financial services company here in Amherst. I have a business management degree from Canisius University. I consider myself an advocate for senior citizens, of which I'm one. It's difficult for many seniors on a fixed income to make ends meet. Higher taxes impact seniors' abilities to stay in their homes. It's becoming harder for our young families to purchase their first home and begin raising their families. Higher taxes will have an impact. We must recognize that for both of our young and old alike. I promise to work diligently on the community's behalf and focus my efforts on ensuring our children receive the best education possible. After all, it's about families and students first. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rabinow. Mr. Plath?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alan Plath. I'm a father, a husband, a coach, and a small business owner. I'm not special. I'm just your normal parent who wants to see Sweet Home succeed like the rest of you. I've been a resident of the Sweet Home District for over 20 years, where my wife, Kristen, and I have been raising our two sons, Braden, now in 10th grade, and Carson, who's in 7th grade. Both boys have been in Sweet Home since UPK, which has given me firsthand insight into our district at every level. Over the years, I've served on the Glendale Principal Hiring Committee and the Sweet Home Workforce Diversity Subcommittee. I've been the vice president of the Parkview Community Board for over a decade. You might have seen me coordinating neighborhood events or working on the Sweet Home Futures baseball game, which I helped launch and coordinate for the last 2 years. I want to be transparent about why I decided to run again this year. I believe there should be a healthy majority of parents who are board members who bring value and diversity of thought, and I check those boxes. My candidacy is about bringing additional parent perspectives to our board. My goal is to enhance the whole student experience, from student safety to academic, performing arts, and athletic success. Our kids need us to create conditions where they can discover their passions and develop the skills to pursue them. Having children who are active in athletics and music has shown me the importance of supporting the full range of opportunities our district offers. Each child has different interests and talents, and our district needs to nurture all of them. As a parent in the district, I bring valuable insight to the board. I live with the decisions of the board every day through the experiences of my children. I understand the impact of policies, not just in theory, but in practice, seeing how they affect homework at our dining room table, activities after school, and the overall development of our children. I will ensure that decisions are made with real families in mind. I'm well aware that we're facing a challenging time in education. There's uncertainty about how our education system may evolve in the coming years. Having attended numerous board meetings over the past year and engaged with parents and teachers throughout our community, I'm prepared to navigate these potential changes with a level head and a collaborative approach. I believe by working together, board members, administrators, teachers, parents, and students, we can adapt to whatever changes come our way while maintaining the high quality of education our children deserve. I believe in bringing common sense to difficult decisions. I'm not afraid to ask hard questions or challenge the status quo when necessary. At the same time, I understand the importance of collaboration and listening to all stakeholders. I'm not a yes man, but I'm also not someone who opposes for the sake of opposition. I'll focus on finding solutions that work for our district. I strongly support our district's commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, which I see as one of our greatest strengths. The exposure our students have to diverse backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives prepare them for success in an increasingly connected world. As someone who values this diversity, I'll work to ensure that all our students feel welcome and supported in our schools. I believe our teachers and staff are the heart and soul of our district. They need our full support to succeed and to give our students the best chance for success. We must ensure they have the resources, the recognition, and the respect that they deserve. My approach to board service centers on 2 principles. First, a student-centered focus. Every decision should be evaluated based on how it impacts student success and well-being. This is why we're all here, to give our students the best possible foundation for the future. Second, transparency and open communication. I want to foster genuine two-way dialogue between the board, parents, students, and teachers. If elected, I'll be accessible to our community. I'll listen with an open mind to concerns, seek to understand different viewpoints, and work towards a solution that benefits all our students. I'll be a voice for all parties, from teachers and students to parents and administrators. Professionally, I've managed teams of more than 100 people and multi-million-dollar budgets for major organizations. Currently, I run a successful resume writing business where I've been a strategic partner to executives globally for the last 17 years. This experience has taught me the importance of clear communication, strategic planning, and being responsive to people's needs, skills that transfer directly to effective board service. I'm running because I believe in the potential of Sweet Home, and I want to help our district evolve to meet the changing needs of our students. Together, we can make Sweet Home a district we can all be proud of.
Very nice.
Thank you, Mr. Platt. Mr. Makeley, your statement, please.
Hey, greetings, everyone. My name is Jonathan Makeley. It is an honor to be able to run for the Sweet Home School Board. I am running because I believe strongly that all of the students should be able to have access to a good quality education that meets their needs and supports their growth towards success. I believe in the value of public service, of collaborative leadership, and the importance of listening to members of the community. I've lived in this district for the past 8 years, and in that time, I've seen many great things from the people in this community, and I wish to contribute to the future success of our students. I've regularly attended school board meetings over the past 4 years, sometimes even being the only person from the community in the room. From this, I have a familiarity with how the board operates and the type of work it does in addressing the issues for our community. At times, I've spoken during the open sessions of the school board meetings to talk about issues facing the district, such as in last month when I spoke in favor of retaining the school psychologist position in the budget, which fortunately they were able to find a means to do that, as well as at times helping to voice concerns from other members of the community that I've talked with who weren't able to make it to board meetings, such as some comments recently reflecting concerns about aspects of the school busing plan. Additionally, I currently serve as a committee member on our district's DEI committee, where I've worked with teachers, staff, parents, and other committee members to work towards the goals of promoting a sense of belonging among students within the Sweet Home community, of working to better support the needs of students and working to help expand educational opportunities for them. Additionally, for that, I'm also serving on a subcommittee within the DEI committee that's currently working to help draft out plans for an updated version of the school's code of conduct, which involves working to bring together the perspectives of the different people within the committee to help transmit that into written word that expresses those ideas and can express a consensus among different parts of the community about what they want to have going forward. Professionally, I'm a historian with a focus on the history of American reform movements. I have a master's degree in history and a master's degree in library and information sciences from the University of Buffalo. In my professional work, I've been involved with several different historical and academic organizations throughout the state. And from that, I have experience through that serving on committees, serving on organizational boards, of working to craft policies, to set goals and plan the methods for their accomplishment, and with planning organizational budgets. I believe that my skills and as an academic and community member could be useful for providing a perspective on the board as we work to pursue the goals of advancing good quality programming and support for students. If elected, my goal would be to work with the other board members, staff, parents, teachers, and other community members to navigate the challenges that we face, to work to improve the quality of education provided, to support our teachers in their work, and to make sure that the children of this district can develop the knowledge and skills that will benefit them throughout their lives. I am interested in helping to foster the promotion of information literacy and critical thinking skills for students, which are in this modern world of information, as are important skills to be able to navigate and take action in the world. I want to help ensure a strong teaching of core subjects, as well as ensure that there are opportunities for students to be able to learn and pursue their interests academically or extracurricularly, which help improve the support and inclusion for all students within our district, including improving support for neurodivergent and disabled students. And I'm interested in working to foster greater communication and expand avenues for which through which families, teachers, and other members of the community can give their input on the important issues facing the district so that our combined perspectives and knowledge can help put together greater plans and policies moving forward. I hope to use my skills and perspectives to help tackle the challenges that our schools are facing and that we will be facing in the coming years, whatever those may be. And I hope that everyone will be, as you hear what I and the others have said, that you'll give consideration to me when you decide who you'll vote for in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nately. As I did mention earlier, we did take or ask for input from our community for questions for the candidates via email for those that could not be in attendance. So before we entertain any questions, perhaps from the audience, I will ask this one question and give all of our candidates the opportunity to answer. The question comes in from Mrs. Kim Perini, and the question is, how can the district improve on being more inclusive for all students, such as students that do not fit into the Sweet Home model? So Mr. Liable, if you want to tackle that one first, that would be good.
Well, I think what's important is that we, and me being on the school board, we can always do better. And so first of all, we have to have the mindset that, as I said, we don't let perfect get in the way of progress, right? We were making progress. We're moving forward, but it's important for us to listen and to be open to the needs of all of our students, and to understand, I think, their perspective, and many times that's communicated by the student, many times it's communicated by the parent. I can say growing up, I'm one of 5, and even though we were raised all by the same parents and we have at heart the same values, we are all very different, and we learn differently and we see things differently. And, I know in the last 10 years with the politics, it's the first time ever we've gotten in arguments at the dinner table over politics. So we even see politics differently. But so my point of that is that until you really begin to try to empathize and really understand where somebody's coming from, it's hard to then, until you do that, you're only seeing it from your perspective. So that's the first thing. And I know as a board, we can continue to improve and get better on that. The other thing I would say is with communication, we have a lot of programs. We have a lot of things that we've done. A big portion of our budget goes towards special needs, almost a third. But I think we can do a better job of communicating with the community as to what we have available. Some of the communication comes out in emails, some of the communication comes out in writing, but I think we can use even more forms of communication. Again, we're getting better at that with social media and with, text messages and other things, because the world's changed now. So communicating the resources we have available, I think, is also important. But, I'll be the first to say that I think we're doing some really good things, but we have progress to be made.
Thank you, Mr. Rabinold. Same question.
Certainly. I think there's a mantra somewhere in some of our writing, strategic plans, DEI, whatever, is all voices need to be heard. So I think we have a focus on that, but I agree with Mr. Label. We can always do better. In the past, we had only one way to communicate, either phone call or sitting in the audience, which is difficult to do. And I really try to encourage the community to do that or phone call or email today, or even social media today. But yeah, very important to run a school district is hearing from all the voices in the district and what their needs may be, and including them in as many things as we can. I know the district again pays a lot of attention to that. And again, agree that we could probably do more.
Thank you. Mr. Plath,
Do you mind repeating the question?
I will happily do that. How can the district improve on being more inclusive for all students, such as students that do not fit into the Sweet Home model?
So I think the first step would be to meet that student where they're at and have that conversation and figure out where their challenges are. They're obviously coming from a different perspective than what I may have. So gathering that information would be the first step. And then from there, figuring out a plan to make them have that sense of belonging within the district. I think it comes down to listening. I think it comes down to finding the right solution that's going to meet that person and get back to that sense of inclusion within the Sweet Home district.
Thank you. Mr. Makeley?
So, and for that, matter working to advance inclusion is an important and ongoing work. Currently, some of that work is being done with through things such as the DEI committee that I'm a part of, as well as work that's being done with advancing different planning for district goals. But of course, there's still more work to be done, more advances to be made. For that, it's important that as we work to craft school and district-wide policies, that we try to gather as much information and input as we can to consider the different views of students that exist, so that we may work to set supports for their needs. I myself, growing up, I grew up as a disabled student in a small town district, and I've known both, the struggles that came from lack of support, as well as the positives that could come from having good support, as well as the type of hard work that parents have to do just to try to get the support that their kids need, and that shouldn't have to be that way. Parents shouldn't have to struggle to get the things that the students need, and I personally care about that. I want to be able to help do what we can to meet the needs of students. That for that, it's important to incorporate those considerations, the planning, to look into what scholarship and work has been done by other schools to be able to incorporate good practices that can help support, include students, as well as to, on the internal side of things, to work to foster these lines of dialogues, to be able to hear from parents and families about what the needs of their students are, and to have prompt and effective actions to help work to have put supports in place, and to work to foster a sense of empathy and understanding among members of the community, so that there could be greater connection and a sense of belonging.
Thank you, Mr. Makeley. At this point in time, I would open it up to anybody in the audience that might have questions. If you have a question, if you'd like to come up and ask the board members a question, you're certainly welcome to do that.
Good evening and good luck to all the candidates. My name is James Ryan. I'm the proud principal of Maplemere Elementary. I also have the luck of representing our administrators and our supervisors in our professional association. Since the emergency closure of March in 2020, our enrollment at kindergarten through fifth grade has increased by 15%, approximately 234 students. We also have transitioned from a half-day pre-K program to a full-day pre-K program, which has increased in enrollment by 60%. Unfortunately, considering those factors, there's been a growing discourse about absorbing positions and/or making reductions in staff. As a potential board member, what is your philosophy on this growing enrollment, but yet being kind of needing to be fiscally responsible to the community? And then also, what should be the process for making those decisions in terms of reductions or absorbing positions? Excuse me, and how could they be communicated? So this question's for all the candidates. Thank you.
I'm going to change it up a little bit. Mr. Ravenel, we'll start with you and work our way down.
Can you give me a more difficult one, please? I mean, it's, it really comes down to, we depend quite a bit on our superintendent and staff to try to balance the need of what the teachers and staff need to educate our children and what the community can afford. My position's always been, we need to do exactly that. We have to understand both. We have to make sure on the classroom level, the teachers have the tools in the toolbox to meet the needs of those, to educate those children. And again, on the other side, it's, at the end of the day, it's always about money. I think we've had a very generous community that's paid taxes for many years, which we've done, and I think have delivered a good quality education. But my center, again, is provide as best education as we can, but balance it between what the community needs financially and what the district needs financially, but provide that quality education. I think we do at this point. Thank you.
Mr. Plath.
I feel like that's loud. I feel like I would lean more towards keeping as many programs available to our students as possible. Like finding a way creatively through the budget, identifying other areas where you can make potential cuts in order to keep the programs available for the students, the staff that's available for the students. I'm always going to be student first when it comes to that. And I think teachers and the staff are the lifeblood for their successes. I think we'd have to look at some metrics and figure out what the success rate of having a potential staff stay to maintain the appropriate programming, and figure out what makes what's the fiscal responsibility, what's the action that we need to take to be fiscally responsible in that situation. But I would lean towards trying to find a way to maintain staffing levels if at all possible.
Thank you, Mr. Makeley. Same question.
Yes, for that, I would say that for me, the first consideration of those matters would be to look as to what the students for our district need in terms of those programs, in terms of what it would be, how much staffing would be needed in order to be able to provide for that, and to, once we've established that baseline, to look into ways in which those staffing needs can be met in a financially efficient way that doesn't put too much of a financial burden on the taxpayers of the community. That ideally try to make sure that there's enough support being provided to have enough staff for the programming that we're looking to do, and in fiscally challenged times, try to minimize what a potential limitations or cuts may end up having to be made towards staff and programming, and to look for ways that be done effectively.
Thank you, Mr. Makeley. Mr. Leibel.
Yeah, I would say, I think we need to do everything we can to prevent the reduction in staff. If you look at the number of staff that we have, I believe we're doing a good job with that. I know through retirements, we may have the opportunity for staff to be reduced, but I don't see that happening with the growing enrollment, as you've mentioned. So I think, my view is, again, as a parent, I want to have my kids have the best teacher to student ratio as we can. So again, I think we should do everything within reason financially to keep our staffing levels where they're at on a per student basis. But I also think we need to compare how do we compare to our peers? Are we 17-1 and our peers are 22-1? We do have some metrics out there we need to look at that just so we know where we're standing in terms of our efficiencies. But in general, my view is, we got to keep staffing at high quality levels as we can. And I generally am not supportive of reducing the staff.
Thank you, Mr. Leibel. Any other questions from the audience at this point in time? Okay, we wish the four candidates the best of luck. As I mentioned, next 2 Tuesdays from tonight, the budget as well as the Board of Education election will be up for vote in this room from 7 o'clock in the morning till 9 p.m. in the evening. The top 2 vote getters of these 4 gentlemen will be elected to 5-year terms expiring in 2030. We wish you the best of luck and thank you for your interest in Sweet Home and running for the board. So at this point in time, I would ask the current board to return to their seats so that we can get to the remainder of our meeting and honor some kids.
You did good, Al. That's very nice. Thank you. Great for us.
Oh, what do you think this is? Silly. Technically, we're gonna keep moving.
Dr. Jester, if you want to share again, you're
Yep.
welcome to do that.
Oops.
Okay, approval of the agenda. We'll be voting on the agenda next week. Do we have any comments or questions from the board? Nope. Okay. Minutes of the previous meeting? Comments or questions? Okay. Communications. Does anyone have any communications to share? We do have the letter from the Amherst IDA. 2 letters, 1 letter?
Another one came in. 2 letters.
1 came in today, so I think there's 2.
29th and the 2nd.
Yes, 2. Questions or comments? Any further communications? Okay, unfinished business, we have none. Dr. Genestri, your turn.
Thank you, Mrs. Battaglia. I know we have some students that we need to recognize here tonight. They've been patiently waiting, but while everyone is in the room, I do want to recognize that it is Teacher Appreciation Week. These are just a few snippets of some of the great work that our teachers do every single day throughout the year in our classrooms. We couldn't be more proud of their work and the way their hearts are towards our students. And so I just want to say from district office perspective, on behalf of all of us, thank you, teachers. Thank you for all you do for us. As the superintendent here, I'm very proud of the work that they do. And you'll notice a lot of these pictures are not in the classroom, to just kind of give you an idea and a sense of going above and beyond every single day for our students. As a parent in this district, I am very, very proud to send my kids here to Sweet Home. They are thriving here, and it's because of the great work of our teachers. And I think another great sign from our community is our continued increasing enrollment and people wanting to move into our district, wanting to be a part of this because of our teachers, faculty and staff, administration, board on down. So just want to say this week, you deserve every kudo that you get, every honor that you get, and want to say thank you to our teachers for all the great work that they're doing. And join me in celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week.
Dr. Genestri, if I might add, it's also Nurse Appreciation Week.
Yes.
This week. So I would also like to thank and recognize all our nurses. We could not have gotten through COVID without them. They are such a valuable asset to our community, and the nurses are just phenomenal in our district. So thank you for all the hard work for them too.
All right, so now you've been patiently waiting. We have some recognition and awards we are very excited to hand out. And I'll ask Dr. Wilson to come to the podium because she worked hard in conjunction with our partners at Northwest Amherst Community Center and to do our art show, art and essay contest.
All the hard work goes to Heidi LaFave. She's here tonight and she's going to come up here to help us give out awards. She called a while back and said, "I really like to come on up." I really would like to focus in on kindness and offer an opportunity for our students across the district to engage in this whole feeling of kindness is the new cool. And so she introduced the art and essay contest that we introduced at our elementary schools, middle and high school. We had entries and we have our winners here tonight along with our sponsor. So I'm gonna turn it right over to Ms. LaFave.
It is a delight to be here. I'm with the town of Amherst and I'm the project coordinator for Northwest Amherst Community Center. If you haven't been out to see us, please do. There's a lot of wonderful things happening. What's so special about the community center is that we partner with Sweet Home Schools. The partnership has been very valuable. It takes a village to support students. And the work that we do with Sweet Home allows us to support students and families. So we hope this is just one of another terrific initiative, and we hope to continue. The idea behind this project, Kind is the New Cool, came about because we really want to encourage the students who are in our building, the seniors who are also in our building, to share and to set examples to students about how kindness can change someone's day. It can change someone's life. The idea that we need to care about our community members, look after our neighbors, do good things in the world to make people feel better, feel lifted up. So we decided the kind is the new cool would be our mantra. And if you get a chance to come out, you'll see our wall of good deeds. We have this beautiful garden of good deeds, and students were encouraged to do something positive or explain kindness, write it on a flower or a bumblebee, and we've created a beautiful mural on our wall, which shows that kindness grows and kindness beautifies our world. We wanted to include Sweet Home in this, so we made this opportunity available with an art and essay contest. And again, it was asking students, how can you show kindness to the community? Well, I'm very pleased to tell you, first of all, I want to thank the judges that participated in reviewing the beautiful work submitted. It was really difficult to just pick 6 winners. The work was outstanding and thoughtful. I was really proud of that. First of all, thank you to our judges, Dr. Toya Wilson, Christine Slagle, the PR coordinator of Sweet Home, Lana Lacusa, English teacher from Sweet Home, and Sue Mahoney, who's the program leader at Northwest Amherst Community Center. She's been with us 35 years as the director of the after-school program. And we are delighted to say that we have an event sponsor, a group that wanted to be involved in this, and they have some fun things to share with you. The event sponsor is Immediate Care. And I will introduce you to Rachel Libra, who is the Communication Relations Coordinator, and then Jim Gialella, who is the Site Manager. Please come on up. They have some lovely prizes that they are gifting, and we have some lovely certificates as well. But they've got some fun things to tell you.
Thank you for having us this evening, and congratulations to all of the winners, and thank you to all the participants in the art and essay contest. Western New York, we have 4 locations here across Western New York, and a few years ago at our Depew location, we partnered with this school district there. It's what, Pleasant View? Or Hillview, I'm sorry, Hillview Elementary. And what we've done is we've displayed some of the students' artwork throughout our center so that when their friends and family members come in, they can see the students' art in the exam rooms and in the waiting room. And it just has been a tremendous success. People really like it. The students really enjoy it. And it's something that we like to do to engage the members of our community. So Rachel worked on getting us involved in this program. And we're going to do the same thing at our Amherst location. And hopefully, we've got some nice things, like she said, for the students. And yeah, we look forward to having it on display there and having people come in to have discussions about it and appreciate the artwork that was done.
I'm blocking the artwork. I'm gonna stand over here. Please notice the beautiful things that are here and come up and take a look afterward. They're really well done.
To announce the winners now. I'm going to apologize in advance if I don't pronounce your name right, but if you just want to walk up, we have a certificate for you and then a little goodie bag, and like the contest flyer said, you will have a $10 Target gift card in here, and it is just kind of floating around, so don't miss it when you're looking through it. The first winner is Maris. And then Kelsey.
Maris, Maris.
There's Maris. Maris.
Oh,
Maris.
oh,
Maris.
Maris, can you come back up, please?
Back up here.
Yes, they want to do a photo.
Yep, now we want to do a
Maris,
walk
come on
around.
over
There you
here.
go. Congratulations. Then it maybe just go, oh,
Just go all around and shake everybody's hand.
Oh.
Okay? Congratulations. Go this way and shake everybody's.
Jennifer.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, good job.
Eris, congratulations.
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 Elin. Oh, yeah. Lindsay
Congratulations. Oh.
and Olivia.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sweetie.
Great job.
Great job.
We'd love a group photo.
Congratulations.
Christine, can do this.
And then if all the winners could come back up for a photo,
Wait,
please.
she's got to turn around, Mom's got.
Congratulations. Could you turn around and take a picture real quick?
Got him?
I think so. Did you get one?
So all of our winners are on display over here, their artwork and their writing pieces, but we have all of the work that will be displayed at
Guys wanna
immediate
get
care.
the- guys wanna get-
Let's make sure immediate care is.
Christine, hold on one second. We're gonna have the
Let,
folks
yeah.
from immediate care get into the photo.
Heidi.
Oh, I'm gonna keep going.
Job.
One shameless plug, we have a job fair that is sponsored by the Department of Labor that is going to be happening at the Northwest Amherst Community Center. Our high school students and our Ready students have been invited to this, but it's open to the community. So I just want to make sure we say that.
And I want to say thank you to our folks from Immediate Care for sponsoring. We really appreciate that. That was very nice. And while she's here, I gotta say thank you to Heidi.
Yes.
Our partnership with the Northwest Amherst Community Center is like this. And whenever we call or talk to each other, she's always saying yes to our needs. And it's so awesome. We spent a couple days over there doing even interviews. And just to see how many people are coming through the center on a daily basis, and the work you're doing over there, it makes our community so much stronger. And it's all your efforts, Heidi. So thank you so much for everything you're doing for us.
Great team and Sweet Home is a pleasure to work with. Glendale has a family night coming up and they're gonna have some fun and we hope all the elementary schools. So if you haven't heard about it, mention it to your principal. We'd love to have you. There's a lot of fun stuff going on.
Yep.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Heidi. All right. And tonight, well, you probably all got your Sweet Home Source in the mail by now, but tonight really was the official night where we get to unveil our top 10 logos that were all created by our students. And when we came up with this kind of contest or project, we wanted to make sure that everyone who wanted to participate had a voice in either creating a logo or voting for a logo. And I think we're going to accomplish that goal, and it all comes to a head on May 20th for our vote. So what you see on the screen are the concepts that were developed by our students. And then what you've seen in the Sweet Home Source or up on the screen over there are the final 10 logos that the community will get to vote on May 20th. And they were all created by our students. We have 3 entries from the high school, 3 entries from the middle school, and 1 entry from each one of our elementary schools. So every school in Sweet Home is represented up on that screen. And you'll notice that each logo has a number next to it, 1 through 10. And so when our students, faculty, staff, community members come into this room on May 20th, they will get to pick one, and everybody will get to vote, but you'll get to pick one, and you'll pick the number that's associated with the logo. And whoever gets the most votes, that will be our official Sweet Home Panther moving forward from now until eternity, hopefully. So, we've, once the official logo's selected, we've got some work to do on our end to make sure that that is the logo that you will see in the gym, on our uniforms, in our stationery, on you name it, you will see it everywhere. On our well, that is a academic symbol. I think that would
Go up here.
need, but yes, anything that you see around here, we have to change out. So whoever wins the contest, their work will live on forever. But we are so appreciative of the 10 finalists. We had 300 entries. We're so appreciative of the 10 finalists that the schools got to vote on which one they liked best. And we invited them here tonight to be recognized, to receive a certificate, to let them know that only one will win, but their 9 are going to live on eternity as well, because through working with Mr. Johnson on a great idea, we're working on it now. We're going to get your concepts framed, and we're going to make sure that you get a copy and that we hang a copy up here in our Virgil's Community Center so they know that this was all student driven, and that your work, even though you might not be the ultimate winner, will still live on forever. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Ms. Slagle to come up because she's been working with our students and our finalists, and she's been working with 26 Shirts a lot to help develop the final logos. And she's been coordinating a field trip for our students to go to 26 Shirts to see how the whole process worked to develop the final concepts. So I'm going to let her talk a little bit and introduce our top 10 finalists.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. It's been such a fun process, as Dr. Genestri spoke about, just making sure that this was all student driven. This is about our students. Our students have fantastic creativity, and we were so excited to get, as he said, over 300 entries. So to be in the final 10 is extremely exciting, and I've had a fun time meeting with each of our students and showing them the final concepts. So we took those concepts that our students created, and we wanted to render those into professional logos so that there was a level playing field. So as Dr. Genestri said, we had representation from every building. So we could absolutely easily have an elementary student's design chosen as the final Panther. So we were very excited to go through this process and to get to the point that we're at today. So we want to recognize our students, and we hope that you'll all come out to vote, because this is truly student driven from the very beginning. So we're ready
They're awesome.
to,
It's going to be a hard
So
decision.
it
Yes.
definitely is going to be hard. I've polled, everyone around me, just holding up the poster like, okay, who would you vote for, and it is a hard choice. And I think that really speaks to the creativity of our students. That's the best problem to have, is to have 10 great logos to choose from. So thank you all for being here. And I'm going to, when I call your name, come up and we'll recognize you, okay? Maxwell Patterson. Come on. Tyleek Moss.
Good job.
Lee Pentheros. And I think we have Savannah Richter here. Do we have any of our other Panther finalists in the room that I did not see? Okay. So we'll be giving these out to the rest of them, but thank you guys so much for being here tonight. We're very, very excited, and I hope you all come out on the 20th.
Christine, can you just name the rest of them? so
Yes,
that
of
we
course, of course.
Recognize them.
Gia Patel. Hers is number 9. We have Anila Maxwell, who is number 2. We have Grace Lysick, who is number 6. Grace Liable, who's number 1.
Who's number 1?
Like your daddy.
Parisa Warehale, who is number 7. And Rafa Rana, who is number 10.
Well, I'd also have to announce that whoever gets the most votes on May 20th will also, through the generous donation of Dollars for Scholars at Sweet Home, be receiving a $500 scholarship that will be available to them their senior year after they graduate. So, exciting. I want to say thank you to Dollars for Scholars. And please come out and vote on May 20th for the logo and, the budget as well.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Christine. Okay. Now, I know we have some other business, but if you would, if.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, you've been so good, so good. You're more than welcome to stay if you wish, but if not, thank you for your patience and congratulations again.
Thank you. We got school in the morning.
Okay.
You're welcome. You're
Yes.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes, my king. Yes, my king.
Oh, I love it.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's all.
Sorry.
Gotta do it.
Oh, you're good.
You're good.
No worries.
Take as much time
You've
as you
waited for
need.
us.
Congratulations.
Thanks, girls.
All right, congrats.
Have a good
Have a
one.
great night. At our last meeting, Mrs. Jason asked for an update on summer school, and so we have Dr. Wilson here to provide that update.
Good evening again. And so I'm going to dig into our summer school programming across all of our sites and then open up for questions. So we are looking at an elementary program, a district-based extended year program, our ESY program. That would be middle school that would be at Glendale, and then the middle school will house the high school and the middle school. as far as the ESY program goes. And then we have our middle school programming that will happen at our middle school, which is focused around enrichment. The high school will be credit recovery and Regents exam recovery focused. And so what you have there are all the locations, Maple-Mare, Glendale, middle school, high school, and the dates that these will run. We're looking that Monday, right after 4th of July celebration, kicks off our first day of summer school. And we run all the way up until Regents exams in the middle of the summer. And so you see those exams are posted there also, the week of August 19th. As we did last year, we are also hosting the community meals that will happen at Glendale, Maple-Mare, and Sweet Home Middle. All of our students who are participating in our programs will participate in breakfast and lunch, and that all students will have access to that. The programming here, as we look at our focus for each program, and then our targeted students. Elementary's intervention targeted, and we have an E&L program. And so that's K-5. Again, that will be housed at Maple-Mare. And you see here is based on our reading and math intervention benchmark assessments and our students and how they're performing during the year. We make the recommendations. We're in the middle of that process now and wrapping that up so that schools are in communication with families to get our students registered. Then,
I'm sorry.
and we have our district-based ESY, that's extended year, students who have IEPs that require them to have year-long school. There's about 50 students who participate in this. And you see that is at the elementary level and then at the secondary level, sitting at the middle school. The middle school is focused around enrichment. It's a project-based summer program focused around humanities and STEM. And so our students get the combination and that connection between English language arts and social studies, and then STEM with math and science. And then we have an extension of STEM that we kicked off last year that we're looking to expand, that our students just loved it. And it really helped us keep them engaged in the summer. World language will also be offered for those students who are looking to get their first checkpoint A. At the high school, it is Regents recovery and credit recovery. So this is based around students who were not successful in the course or in a Regents exam, and these are required for graduation. And so you see we have a combination going on at the high school in which it's the full summer centered around the course and the Regents exam prep. And then for those students who just need help with the Regents exam, there's a couple of weeks just before the exam where we do exam prep. And those students only need to come for that portion. And so we make that available to try to be flexible. We extended the high school program so that we offer more opportunities for students to recover more credits a couple of years back. And so we are continuing that focus. Questions?
I just have a couple. How are the kids determined to go into that? Is that our triangle, our response to intervention, those kids that are at the highest top?
So through our benchmark assessments throughout the year, we have AIMSweb that we've been focusing on this year. We use that as an assessment. Feedback from the classrooms is multiple assessments or multiple opportunities at the elementary school, and they're in the process of finalizing that now. ESY is IEP driven. Students must have that designated on their IEP. At the middle school, if they are not successful in one of the core, we offer them all so that they have the opportunity to engage in the projects and strengthen all core. And then high school is centered around the graduation requirements.
As far as the meal programs, anything for the weekend? Do they get hungry on the weekends too?
It's not been approved at the federal or state level. So the kids, that's offered to the kids that are in session, the community can come into the buildings and eat, but they must consume the meals in the buildings. Can't take them with them.
And there'll be things that go out to families so
Absolutely.
that,
Yes.
so that they're aware.
Yep, we
Yes.
definitely want as many students need or not need to be in our cafeterias.
Do
and
not
so-
know kids get hungry on the weekends too. I mean, it's just a sad commentary that we can't get our kids fed even during the summer. It's kind of sad. But thank you.
Yes. And you should have received your beautiful t-shirt design. I have a mock-up here of we had another contest. We love a contest. And so we asked our students across all of our sites to help us design the Challenge to Change shirt this year. And so what you received prior to coming out to the board floor is your shirt. This was designed by a 7th grader over at the middle school, Ramsha Rana. And unanimous, this was a big vote. The kids really liked this one. And so they liked the fact that they were spelling out a lot of the key elements of the things we've been focused on this year, which is kindness, caring, helpfulness, being someone who is really focused on the community. And so you'll see those words on the pause and then the shirt in the front, the change agent. And the students who are on our Challenge to Change planning team, which is our ACT, our students for cultural Alliance for Cultural Transformation, they will have the tie-dye version of that shirt. So you'll be able to recognize them. They'll stand out. They wanted something like that. And so they've had a lot of voice in planning that in the components that we will have at the Challenge to Change, which is our 3rd Challenge to Change at Banchetti's, May 30th. We are asking for RSVPs now of folks across our community. Our students folks across the community are receiving their shirts now. Our students will get them just before the event, so we make sure they have them the day of the event. But this year's focus, the whole theme is centered around again, that kindness and using that to drive belonging, but through leadership. So the League of Everyday Legends, unleashing the superpowers of kindness and belonging is the main focus. And what we did was we took the words that the students all came up with in our last session, our last ACT session, and we plugged them into an engine and said, help us with the theme, and this is where we landed. But it was all the words that they had been working on all year long. So they're going to do, students who participate and adults who participate, you will discover your superhero powers from within by leading with compassion to lift others. So our mission, again, is to build a world where everybody belongs, and our students will have a big voice in that. We will have a Sweet Home alum joining us as part of one of our keynotes, as well as you saw a highlight from one of our keynotes at the regional Challenge to Change that some of our high school students participated in. So we're really excited about it. It's coming up quick, so we hope as many of you as possible can join us. But if not, just wear your shirt in solidarity on that day. That would be great.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson, and also noted, that this is an important part, an activity in accordance with our goal 3 of our strategic plan for the whole child. So thank you. We are at that time of year where we announce our top 10, and you probably saw it go out on social media. But here is a list of our students from top 10 for graduating for the class of 2025. Congratulations to Matthew Spence, our valedictorian, and Joy Beto, our salutatorian. And we are counting down to graduation and really proud of the accomplishments of the class of 2025 and especially our top 10. So more to come on that as we approach graduation, but just wanted to put it out there that it's on our socials, but congratulations to them and their parents on a job very, very well done.
Raised him.
I did nothing.
Your wife raised him.
Here, I'll give you that one.
It is now official that we will have a change in our calendar around the Memorial Day holiday weekend. We announced it on May 1st that due to the fact that we still have 3 emergency days remaining in our current calendar, that Friday, May 23rd, the district will be closed, as well as May 26th. So that makes it a 4-day weekend for our families over Memorial Day. And so that's been announced, and we'll make sure we announce it once we get closer once again.
I have a question.
Yes.
Random question. For our students that are attending the New Visions programs and the BOCES programs where they're not necessarily at the high school during the day, are they
BOCES is closed that day.
BOCES is closed that day.
So some of our private institutions are still open and we are providing transportation.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And finally, I would like to congratulate our middle school principal, Marissa Doria. She's just racking up the honors, and all completely well-deserved. Last night, a large group of us were at Creekside Banquet Center to watch Marissa receive her well-deserved the Saney's Middle School Principal of the Year Award for District 12. Marissa won, and just, of course, she's knocking it out of the park at our middle school, and just so well-deserved and well-earned of all the work that she's doing. Just a valuable member of our team. Her work as an athletic director continues to be, when she was in that role, continues to be valued here, which I'll talk about in a second, but it's translated into just a great leadership at the middle school. And so please join me in congratulating Marissa on her Middle School Principal of the Year Award, as well as she will be named the Section 6 Judith Ann Knight Positive Change Award winner. I often say without her, we would not have flag football in New York State. She really led the effort to get it not only here at Sweet Home, but throughout the state of New York, and really was a leader and continues to be a leader in the area of flag football, but all athletics for all athletes here in New York. So just two well-deserved honors for Marissa, and just wanted to recognize her tonight, and I'm sure we'll get her at a board meeting soon too. But she works hard and deserved the night off tonight. So. And that's all I have.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Moving on, upcoming events, we are entering the end of the year music season and wrapping up PTA seasons. We've spoken about the district vote, but if you missed it, it's May 20th. I did want to mention that also, as we move through the end of the year things, we did get the information regarding Stars Breakfast, and the senior walkthrough is June 2nd. As far as I'm aware.
Yes.
Okay, that brings us to our first open session per board policy 1512. This open session is for topics related to tonight's agenda. Is anyone interested in speaking? Okay, new business. We'll be voting on new business next week. A is our class placements.
Getting through 256 pages of class places. I'll have them done by next week.
Okay. Our monthly financials.
Would you mind, Mary Ann, telling what exactly you're reading and what you do with that?
All of the IEP meetings, anything, whether a child's IEP has changed or whether there's an addition to it, all the end of year assessments, and when any child has to be assessed to see if they qualify for the needs, is all the minutes are written up, and then I read all of those. So end of year is usually a lot because we have a lot of end of year assessments for kids, but the most valuable thing I take away from that is how hard our staff works, how, in coordination with special ed, our different modalities of, occupational therapy, physical therapy, these, just the parent advocates that come with these parents. So, impressed every time I read it, but yes, end of year is usually a lot, but I don't mind doing it. I just learn a lot.
And we, for years, have depended on you to read that, and you would notify us if you saw something. that
Absolutely.
regular.
It's nothing we can
And we're
talk about.
voting, we're voting on that.
Correct.
In the end, we vote for those changes, correct?
Right, correct. And if there is something
I
that
had-
I
I had
have
a-
a question about, I'll usually privately ask Dr. Janestri.
Yeah, that's fine. I had a parent ask me that question, so that's why I had you do that. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Thank you for your reading. All right.
And just for the record, more than one board member gets that report and does go through it.
What's that? I'm sorry.
There's more than one board member that
Scott
reads the
gets it
report.
too.
I get it.
Peter, you
Peter
get
does
it
it
too.
Oh, well,
She's the one who always gets through them.
We let her speak for us.
very good. Thank you. I didn't realize that. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so monthly financials are next. Those will be, if they're not already posted, they'll be posted soon. C is the bids for health and medical supplies, athletic and physical education supplies. Any questions or comments? D is the disposal of obsolete property. There was a variety of things in there. E is the municipal cooperation agreement.
I ask specifically, what is this for utilities or is it?
This is, in July, the board passed a bank as a depository, an official depository called NILAF. It's a high yield interest money market that we invest some of our money in. NILAF is being purchased by NICLAS, so we have to add NICLAS to our official depositories.
Oh, okay. That's easy.
I'm
good.
If I could dwell on that for just a second. So NICLAS has actually been around for a while. Have we used them in the past?
We have not, for high yield savings options for school districts, it's generally been NICLAS or NILAF. We've been with NILAF for the last number of years, or the last year rather, and NILAF is being purchased by NICLAS.
There are some strict guidelines for schools and their deposits with banks and how much interest or options for earning interest on their funds.
That's correct. That's correct. And NICLAS, we won't see an interruption in our service. The parameters of our account remains the same. So it's just a matter of adding NICLAS as an official depository.
Would that put pressure, or would it create some kind of competitive pressure on the bank deposits? The interest we're getting there?
Well, we've had conversations. That's a good question, Mr. Ravenel. We've had conversations with our regular bank deposits to see if there are ways to increase our interest rates. So we generally review those annually.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
And then the next one is an additional municipal cooperation agreement for RIC 1 Risk Operations Center.
Would you like me to address
Sure.
that
I'm gonna
one
let
as
you
well?
go with it, 'cause-
So that's a co-op that has been established and supported by Erie One BOCES that basically works as kind of a repository of Ed Law 2D agreements for software programs across New York State and several other states as well. What it allows us to do is if we are interested in purchasing software, to run that software through this repository to see if there is already an established Ed Law 2D agreement. And if there is, it allows us to piggyback on that agreement with another district from that standpoint. So Ed Law 2D is an education law that's in place that protects personal identifiable information, so that if there were ever, in order for us to engage into a software agreement with a vendor, we have to have this agreement in place. Otherwise, we don't enter into agreements with folks that won't sign a privacy agreement.
And this is going to be extremely important as we move into the AI world more.
I would agree. It's difficult. I appreciate this in my new role as the tech person, in that it allows us to more quickly get agreements in place. It's often difficult to find a contact person at software company X to pinpoint to get these agreements in place. And with agreements that are already established and allowed to be piggybacked upon, is efficient for us, I'll say.
Yeah.
Any more questions on that? Nope. Okay. That brings us to open session policy 1512. Would anyone like to address the board? You have 3 minutes. Please state your name, address, and relationship to Sweet Home. Once. Okay. Personnel, we'll be voting on personnel next week, teaching and administrative and service. Does anybody have any questions or comments that they can speak on? Nope. Okay. May I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a great night. Yay.